Oh God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I've had way too many copyright violations in the last month. The last thing I need is to have a little copyrighted music playing in the background. It really screws things up. I mean, that's how I make $1 on YouTube. Let's kind of clean up a little bit. So you see the boxers? Where those are probably just hanging in. Oh, that's gonna look great on one of the videos. Dirty laundry. Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. I want to apologize for the mess that you are seeing. Right now, I'm in like transition. Yes, I'm transitioning. You're gonna start seeing changes. You probably already have. I've got man boobs. But right now, I'm like transitioning from one project to the other while still doing the one previous. And so I've got like 6 projects going on in the house. I've got a lot of material stacked up over here. You might be able to see the corner of my new hardwood flooring that's stacked up there. That's got to weigh like 1,000 pounds. It is heavy. I'm amazed the floor didn't collapse. Bravo. I did good. Did good. It's built well, construction. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry for the mess. I do live in this house while building it, so as far as I'm concerned, I've done fairly well with making it look like I'm not a slob. So my tiny house, like you probably know, is completely different than sound like a fucking horse. So my house, as you probably know, is completely different than anyone else's tiny house, really. Things that I've done in this house, I've never seen done in other houses. I'm kind of upset that I haven't seen it like a new trend. But that's alright. You can keep building your cookie cutters. That's fine. I really like this design. I like how I come in here. I've got a very large living room that goes down into the kitchen, then goes down into the bedroom. Some people think the bedroom's claustrophobic. I had one guy down there before. The cable guy. He came to install my cable, okay? He was hung like a horse. He knew how to lay some wire, if you know what I mean. Real thin, long wire. But he was a tall guy, and he went down there, and he was fine. He was alright. He was really good, if you know what I mean. I am a 33-year-old child. So yeah, when you come in right here, I'm gonna eventually do a railing right here. It'll probably be one of the last things I do inside because I tend to like opening this door all the way so I can bring material into the house. Eventually though, it will only open to here. So this is all right. New camera angle. Now when I go down into my bedroom, it's all right. I mean, I'm fine with it. The steps are horrible, which I'm gonna work on today. The width is perfectly fine. There's a small angle right here. You can't see it? Yeah, you can. This angle right here, that railing is going to come right to here. So there'll be a small opening to come down. This railing will come up, connect into this railing post, another railing post. Railings. Safety! But overall, I'm really happy with it. It is a perfect size. So at this point, I'm almost ready to start doing my hardwood flooring. Plus, I need to do some work downstairs to kind of catch that area up to what's happening up here. I haven't done the ceiling in there yet. I haven't done 3 walls with the whitewash that I'm going to do. And the whole stairwell needs to be built. I need to build in actual stairs. I have been using... Oh God, it's so heavy. I have been using this that I made a long time ago. This was a coffee table that I made. But it was something I spent a lot of time making. Really liked it. It was 3 pieces of cedar log. The other piece is to go into the kitchen and living room there. But I cut that off on this side. It was a real nice piece that I made, and it was something that I needed to throw away when I started downsizing. Didn't want to get rid of it, so I saved it. But it's on its way to dying completely. Very sad. But I have been using those as stairs to get up and down out of this hole. Now I should clean. You can't see any of that, all right? Now, one thing that's in the stairwell is the wheel well. I was thinking about incorporating the wheel well into the stairs, but I only want to have 3 steps, and that doesn't land anywhere near the heights, the rises on those stairs. So I was thinking of making this thing smaller. There is a 2x4 wall that's built right here with a 2x4 on top of it. So I could theoretically make this thing a lot smaller, but I won't have any insulation on it. So instead of taking off the top, I'm just going to cut this back 3.5 inches. It's going to be 4 inches because there's 1/2 inch plywood here. But I'm going to cut that back 4 inches. I'll still have that plywood on the outside that's all waterproofed. And then I'm going to take a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and put it on the inside of the house to support the tops of those little studs, those little things that are right there. It'll make that a lot smaller, and it'll give me about 3 more inches to move my fat ass through here. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to be modifying the wheel well, fixing that up, building some walls underneath this cantilever section, and then figuring out my stair heights, and they're going to be going like this, if that makes sense. This will be like a fixed point. It'll be 1, 2, 3, top. Makes sense? I might not, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. I'm ready to do it though. What is love, love, love? Baby, don't hurt me. My neighbors can hear me when I do that. Don't hurt me no more. You're gonna get a copyright violation because you sing so well. I told my high school music teacher that I'm good at singing. She said no. So right here you can kind of see how this whole thing is built. I've got a 2x4 wall right here, and a 2x4 wall basically built on top of that. In between this piece and this outside piece right here, there's a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. So I'm gonna cut this flush with that 1/2-inch plywood. So I'm just gonna take a speed square, eye it on down right there, across there, 4 3/4, snap that. So I'm gonna first cut this with a circular saw, and that'll cut most of the way through these 2x4s, and then I'm gonna come back with a Sawzall, and I'm gonna do a lot of hack work. Probably gonna hit some nails. Oh, this is gonna take forever. It's gonna take forever. Just hurt a little bit. Didn't really hurt that much. I mean, is this a good idea? I hope. I'm losing all the insulation right there, but I mean, how many square, like, that's not much. I got a heater right there, so I'll heat it real quick. When you're cutting with a Sawzall, it's very similar to a jigsaw. The blade will bend out and it'll make like a radius cut. So I'm always watching my Sawzall blade, and with experience you can tell which way it's turning. But if you just twist the blade one way or the other, you can redirect it and steer it through your cut so that I end up with a perfect cut. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to try for perfect. Oh, God almighty. I mean, if you're messing up, you're not messing up a little, you're messing up a lot. Makes sense? So I took the plywood off so I could see better. I want to make sure that I'm cutting flush with that plywood right there. Visibility. God, the chainsaw would just be great. 99% good. I'm happy. Cleanup time. So I posted a before picture. I'm going to do a before and after picture on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you don't follow me, you know how to find me. It's probably linked in the description. I think I have that permanently linked in the description. But anyways, I'm wondering how much hate I'm going to get because I'm doing demo still. Probably a lot. It's alright though. Now that piece of 1/2-inch plywood that's there is the plywood that's on the outside of the house. Am I happy with that? Not 100%, but the way I did my siding and stuff, I'll be able to insulate that space. Plus eventually I plan to park this in a place where I never move it, and I'm going to put it down most likely onto a regular foundation, and when I do, I'm going to take the axles off, take the hitch off, and this thing will no longer, in my mind, be a tiny house because it's not on a trailer anymore. Why don't I just take the wheel well completely out? Huh, Dan? It's a very good point you have. No, because when I move it, the water. Man, that's great! Look at how much bigger it is! All the room for activities! Look at all the colors. It's like a rainbow inside my nose. This is not flattering. I just can't. So I put the 3/4-inch plywood on here. That makes this a little stronger, and it supports the studs, I'll call them. No, they're kind of joists though. I put 2 screws into every joist, and it's strong. You know, it's just hard to film, just to be honest with you. So I have this taper right here, and then it comes back. I want this to continue straight down to the floor. So this should be probably, it's 2 inches. So I'm just going to transfer this down onto the floor and get this line snapped, and then I can figure out all my pieces to make all this work out. So I'm just gonna take a framing square, put it right here. Make sure I'm sitting flat on my thingy. Everywhere is tight. And put a mark right there. Let's just for shits and giggles. 9 3/8 light. 9 3/8 light. Clearly I did good somewhere in my life. Daniel, I have to disagree. Thanks. This is strong. These joists run way back and they're tied into the joists that are in there. All I need these studs for is to support the tongue and groove pine that I'm going to be putting on here. So I've got a bazillion pieces of cut, and this is all like custom work. I mean, I'm going to measure, cut, measure, cut, measure, cut. So I'm done filming for a bit, and I will jump back in 2 seconds and throw some other stuff in. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Might be a pain in the ass to do this project. 28 1/16. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 6, 7, 8, 8, 68 minus 90, or 90 minus 68 is 10, 6, 90 becomes 8, 10 becomes 2. I don't know how to do math. Simple math is hard for me. Well, let's call it 21 degrees, because that's making more sense. Not a fan of the lighting. You know, I'm more of a natural light. This makes me look like Donald Trump, I think, a little bit. So I started doing the tongue and groove on this section right here. This is probably one of the hardest things in the world to do. This took me years to figure out, and in those years, I generally was not sober. Am I sober now? Well, a different type of non-sober, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna try to dumb down this as much as I can, but stay with me. It's gonna be confusing, but if you really think about it, if you're trying to do something like this, then you can figure it out. So from this wall right here to this wall right here, if these continued all the way through, this would equal 90 degrees. Are you with me? 90 degrees. So I know this right here. Now, to make this simple for figuring out, just to explain it, I'm gonna say this is a 20-degree angle right here. So that's 20. If I minus 20 from 90, I'm gonna get 70. And that is what this angle is right here. I want these boards to butt up against each other. So I can't just cut one of these 1x6s on a 20 degree and then cut the other on a 20 degree, because when they butt together, they won't match up. It's not correct. So what you do is say this is 70 and this is 20. You'll divide those by 2. So 20 becomes a 10 degree. That's what you want this cut to be. 10 degree on this side and 10 degree on this side. And this is a 70, so divide that by 2, it's 35 and 35. So 2 35 degrees will equal the 70 and make this good. Are you with me? I think I explained that fairly well, so it's understandable. Now, one thing that I've learned over time is that it's better to make that angle a little bit steeper so that your short point, the back of the cut, isn't touching, because you want a nice joint on the front here, right on the face. You don't want a gap that you have to fill. So I'll make this a 36 degree and I'll make this an 11 degree. Sometimes I'll go another half more, so 11.5 degree and a 36.5 degree. And then, so what I did was I did 2 courses testing everything. Once I was confident that I had it, I made all my cuts, I think, I hope. And then I want to put all these in together at the same time. I'm going to line this up with the piece underneath it, and that's this one. I really need to get a rubber mallet. Can we put that on the to get list? I need those 7-inch pieces. Actually, they're a little bit bigger, but that's all right. I'm happy. So I'm just going to make sure I'm tight all the way along the bottom. But check my joints. I also want to make sure that these are all flush on top here. It's hard to film this because I am super OCD. I really want to put a face nail there, but I can't. Put 2. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of sandpaper, lightly sand this. If I have a little bit of a gap, I'll take some wood filler and fill that in so it's seamless. Now this might get trim. It might not, since it's such a complex angle. And the trim that I'll be using is going to be very difficult to cut. I'm not sure. This might end up just staying like that. But I'm happy with it. I hope you are. So now I've got all my pieces cut. I can just go, and this is good. But I hope I explained that well to figure out what angles these are. You really just need to know what one of these angles is to figure out all the mathematical stuff on it. And then I figured out all my short points, because all these are cut on double bevels on both ends. I group cut it, so I cut a bunch of them at this 35 degree, and then I pulled my numbers and marked them on this end and cut the other angle, as well as cut this angle in this board. It was a lot of cutting and back and forth up and down this hole, which I can't wait to put the stairs in. We're gonna do the stairs when you come back. This is all gonna be white in this hole. Now the rest of these pieces right here are gonna be running all the way to the other side, so I'm just gonna try to get this point as good as possible, and then I'm also gonna write down what this degree was, which was a 36.5 degree. And then later when I'm doing the bedroom, I got that angle that I need, and I can get my length and just hammer this out. But that would mean I have to take down my TV, like the only little bit of what makes this feel like a home. Do you have any idea how long this has been unfinished? And then, so now this top piece, I'm gonna rip it, and then when I do my flooring, I've got that special trim. I really should learn what it's called so I can say it in the videos. But that's gonna go right on top of here, and it'll finish that nice. I might do a piece of trim on the bottom here, haven't decided yet. We're gonna see how crazy it gets, but I feel like I'll be trimming for a year in this place. Now this piece that's gonna hang over and cover it is gonna have a little bit of cover. So if I don't rip this perfectly, it's gonna be okay. But I do want it to support this piece of trim that's hanging off the edge. So I'm gonna really try to get this perfect. 3 3/16. 3 3/16. 3 3/16. Good, so go rip those two pieces at 3 3/16. Oh, I just vomited, and it tasted like vomit. It tasted vomity.
What about me?
Come here, Ping. Come here. You haven't made it into the video.
I used the stairs for the first time.
Thank you for using them that time. You normally don't really like them.
No, I don't. I'd rather just jump it. I'm a daredevil.
See, she doesn't really like them. But you can see I've finished building the stairs. I didn't film any of this because it was a huge project. I would say there's probably close to 1,000 cuts in making this right here. I mean, an insane amount of cutting. I think each piece has at least 2 cuts, obviously, but most of them have 3 to 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like just this one piece right here has 5 cuts in it, and that's just one piece. And there's a ton in there. So it took a lot of work to do this, but it came out perfect. There was a lot of math involved in doing this. I will go over figuring out stairs when I do these stairs for my deck. This is just very difficult to film in this tight space, but I think it came out very nice. Basically, when you're figuring stairs, you have to figure from your floor to your floor. Now, I will be finishing these stair treads with the same flooring that I put on to the floor in the bedroom, and then the floor in the kitchen. So this is where it gets confusing. Stay with me for a second. So when I figured all this out, I figured from this plywood to this plywood, I divided it by 4 because I have 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is like roughly 30 inches from this plywood to this plywood. So I divided it by 4 or whatever, and figured out my height, and then I just marked everything out, and then I built this step. It goes all the way back to that corner. Then I built this one. It goes all the way underneath this one, and then I built this one, and they're all at 7 3/16. So from here to here, 7 3/16. From here to here, 7 3/16. From here to here, and so forth. It is very important when you're building stairs to keep that number exact through all of it. If you are off by just a little bit, anytime anyone steps on that stair, they're going to trip on the stair tread. Your brain, when you touch the first step, your brain naturally remembers that distance that your foot traveled. And so if it's different on the next step, you're going to trip. If you are ever walking upstairs and you don't lift your foot high enough and you hit the stair tread, go back and measure it. I know you won't. I never do. But I can tell you that it's a different height. I know it is. I've seen it. I've made them wrong and watched people mess up. And it's kind of funny. So make sure your numbers are exactly the same. Since the flooring that's going here and here, it's going to raise it up a 1/2 inch. This is going to get raised up a 1/2 inch as well as all this. This is all going to get flooring. This exposed edge right here, which you can see, is going to get a piece of trim. So that'll be covered up. I might do trim on this. There's going to be so much more work done to this, but you probably won't see the final product of this until it's completely done. If you follow me on social media, you might have had a little bit of say in this project. A lot of people wanted me to do 2 stairs, just 2 of these. And I know from experience, from living in this house, that I would step down onto logs. I had logs that were here. I'd step down on that log, and I would always put my foot down onto the wheel well, and then I would put my foot down onto the floor here. So I kind of knew that I wanted something far back in that corner. That's why I put this extra step here versus just going with a 9 18 27. Oh, it's 27, that's what it was. But yeah, if I would have done 2, it would have been 9 inches, which would have been uncomfortable. So at the beginning of this video, you saw that I had a baseboard heater right here, a little electric baseboard heater, and I had the wire coming out right here. And when I did this piece right here, I made a huge slot for the wire, thinking like that was good, like I was gonna leave it. But after doing all this that I did here, I realized that that baseboard heater is not gonna work. So what I did was just cut that opening a little bit bigger, put an outlet box in there, a remodel outlet box, and put in an outlet. Random outlet. I figured I can hook a blender up, place it right here, so while in bed I can make margaritas while technically still being in the kitchen. You with me? Some people think I'm an alcoholic. I'm not. I have a lot of people talking about how much I drink. I really don't drink that much. I make a joke about how much I drink. I really don't drink that much. Yeah, you do. Stop lying. That's a true alcoholic, when you deny your alcoholism. Is that a word? But I do want to do one of them ceramic flat wall mounted heaters, and I believe those just get plugged right into an outlet. If they don't, I will drill a hole here and I'll snake a wire to this point right here and plug into it that way. So yeah, that's a thing. I've also seen those wall-mounted flat screen fireplaces, which are so freaking cool. Now, they are a little thicker than the space I have here, but it would be very cool to find a 30-inch one that sits in there. It might stick out about 3/4 to an inch, but notch that in so I have a fireplace TV screen that actually puts off heat. I'll be able to see it from the bed. I'll be able to see it from upstairs maybe, if I put it right here, bottom right here, top right there. Yeah. Plus the sound of it, I think that makes sound. I don't know. That'll be something that goes at like the very end. But you know, $200-300 for one of those would look really cool. So yeah, that's a thing I might do. A lot of my Instagram followers wanted to see me use these stairs, so I'm going to demonstrate them. So when you're stepping down, I found the best way is take your right foot, aim it in that direction, and it goes pretty smoothly. When I designed this, I made sure you could put 2 feet on to each step. So if you start coming down and you go with the wrong foot first, you know that your brain's gonna naturally know, oh, I gotta go to that one. So you're gonna put your other foot right here and come to here, to here, to here. Now the best way to do this is take your right foot and put it on an angle right there and then come down. And it's actually quite smooth. Now going up, stand up right here, left foot, right foot, left, and up. For being such a tight space, I feel like this is perfect. Not bad, eh? My mother even, like I shared this picture on social media, and my mother even shared it. Daniel, I'm impressed. First time ever, Daniel. Don't let that go to your head, Daniel. You still are disappointing me. I don't know why you decided to live in a tiny house, Daniel. But I think these stairs came out pretty sick. I mean, I'm really impressed with them. I'm not like mean to toot my horn or anything, but they're very seamless. All the joints line up. They're really nice. There will be a wall right here, so the closet's going to be right behind here. So this paneling will continue straight up on that wall. But I got to do the flooring. I'm, again, doing the same hardwood flooring on here. Got a lot of transition piece, the bullnose stair tread thingy. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I've kind of stopped thinking in my brain. I gotta go break a leg now because that's the title of this video. So let's go do that. Can we look at them together? Like, do you see the amount of space it takes up? It's tiny. It's 20 inches from here to the wheel well. So 26 inches by I think it's 2 feet. So it's perfect. I'm happy. Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. You better know that clickbait is going to be a new thing for this channel. Should I wrap my leg in toilet paper so it looks like it's in a cast? No, I'll put 1 foot here. I kind of got to just get into the position and go like this. Can I make a thumbnail out of it? I broke. I need to get the stairs in the picture. Scoot the ass back. All right. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. A real ugly face. It needs to be uglier. And then the foot really kind of needs to look broken. This one too. Everything needs to look broken. Okay. Are my testicles sticking out? We can't have lumps. That's disgusting. Just put your hand there. It looks like you're playing with yourself. Oh God. Oh, I'll just look dead. That doesn't look too bad. My pencil just fell out of my pocket. Thank you for dealing with my clickbait titles. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. If you really, really like the video, make sure you share it on your favorite social media. And that's it. I can't breathe. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, that's the end of the video. Oh God, I can't really breathe. Like, it's bad. I can't. It hurts all over. Oh God. Well, plus the heater's on. That doesn't help.